Hello, it's Reviews Day Tuesday, it's time for a new Discworld Discourses, and today I am going to be talking about The We Free Men. This is the 30th Discworld book by Terry Pratchett, first published in 2003. This is the first Tiffany Aching book, the first in the Tiffany Aching series, and it's one of the children's or young adults Discworld books, following the amazing Morris and his educated rodents. In this book we follow Tiffany Aching, a 9-year-old girl living on the chalk who wants to be a witch. One day her little brother goes missing and she finds help from the Knack-Mack Feegles, a clan of 6-inch tall, blue, kilted men. Tiffany Aching is one of my favourite female Discworld characters and one of my favourite main characters in a Discworld book. She is a complex and interesting character with her first sight and second thoughts. I love her relationship with her grandmother and with her land. The whole setting, the whole history of the chalk, it's very atmospheric and unique to the Tiffany Aching books. The chalk is a character in itself. It's one of the Discworld places where you really feel like you are there, like you can smell it. And the Knack-Mack Feegle are a wonderful invention. The story really takes off once they get involved. They're very funny the way Pratchett writes them and the way that they speak. And there are a lot of them, but so many of them have distinct personalities and roles within the group. And it didn't take too long for me as a reader to feel like I had got to know them and their clan and their hierarchy. I'd say that The We Free Men is a really good book for setting and characters. The only slight blip being that I find the little brother Wentworth really annoying, but that is kind of the point of him. The We Free Men is a very enjoyable book to read. Although it is one of the children's books, like every other Discworld children's books, it is still complex. It doesn't talk down to the reader. Adults and children can enjoy it. Tiffany is very young for a main character. To be honest, I had thought she was slightly older when the books started. I didn't remember that she was 9 years old from my last reading of the Discworld series, but she does act somewhat older, which I expect is why I forgot. She's an unusual 9-year-old in the way that she acts and sees the world. I related to her and rooted for her, and I think she's a great character for young readers of any gender to meet. I'd recommend this book for children and for everyone else. This book involves fairy tales and it has plenty of humour, as you would expect. However, I would describe it as rather serious. It's not laugh out loud funny, and Tiffany herself is rather serious, or she takes herself seriously. She takes things seriously. And as I touched on earlier, the Tiffany Aching books, they have a tone, a feel of their own. And I really love that. They feel unique in the Discworld series. They are in many ways a continuation of the Witches series, you know, with Granny Weatherwax and Nanny Og, but they have a feel of their own. They are distinct, and not just because they are children's books. I would recommend The We Free Men and the Tiffany Aching series as a whole, and I will give The We Free Men, the first in the Tiffany Aching series, 4.1 out of 5. If you liked The We Free Men, I would definitely recommend continuing with the Tiffany Aching books, the next one being A Hatful of Sky. If you didn't get on so well with The We Free Men, then Monstrous Regiment is the next Discworld book, so maybe that one is a fair enough place to go, and it's also back to the adults Discworld books. So, some facts about the We Free Men. This is not our first time meeting a Feegle. Although he is not described as one, Wee Mad Arthur of the Ankh-Morpork City Watch is known to be a Feegle. A film version is in the works, adapted by Rhianna Pratchett and in association with the Jim Henson Company. A previous attempt to make a film version fell apart a few years ago, but this one seems to be currently going ahead. The working title of this book was For Fear of Little Men. As Pratchett mentions in the author's note at the back, the painting that Tiffany finds herself in the book really exists. It is called The Fairy Fella's Masterstroke. It is by Richard Dadd, and it can be found at the Tate. Finally, The We Free Men is unique in the Discworld series in that it is the only Discworld book that doesn't feature death. The character, not the concept. That is it for today's video. I would love to know what you think about The We Free Men if you have read it. My next Discworld Discourses will be on the 21st of April, and I will be talking about Monstrous Regiment. And the full list of Discworld books and when I'm planning on reviewing them will be linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Let's move across to the end screen. If you'd like to see my latest video or some more Discworld Discourses, then you can do so below me here, and you can also subscribe to my channel or visit my website if you wish to beside me here. And if you fancy checking out my Patreon page, the link to that is in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.